Friday morning, a feel-good football Friday. You had a game last night where the 49ers and Brock Purdy continue to win. That is a good thing for the New York Giants as the Seattle Seahawks take another loss in this race for these three wild cards, or these last two wild cards, rather, in the NFC, with the Cowboys getting the top one. Boomer's Rangers won last night. It was a very important game for him. We had a successful Christmas dinner. We've got picks today. We've got Jerry still in the COVID cottage. This is going to be a party today all the way to 10 o'clock. So come join us and stay with us. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Why are you screaming this morning?
Because it's a
so
feel-good football Friday, damn it. That's why.
I think I'd speak for all of us. I don't think we're all feeling all that great. I think we all had a great time last night. And I have to tell you right now, the next time we do this, we're taking the next day off. That's all I'm saying. Al was like an animal last night. I've never seen him like that.
You really think it was,
once I see Al getting knee-deep into it,
he used to black out in front of you guys.
I don't remember that.
Back in the day.
Well, that's when he used to drink vodka and all that crap. But last night he was partaking in the wine. He was actually being conversational at dinner. I mean, he was totally involved. And because he got involved, I didn't have to worry about him.
Yeah, that
I always worry about him in socially awkward situations, because he's not good in those situations normally. And then last night, he doesn't have any hair, but if he did have hair, he let it down last night.
Yeah, I would say that's the most I've seen Al drink since I've been doing this show. But everybody tells me the legend of Al Dukes, where he used to black out and then bid on all these charity items and then wake up in the morning and have a signed Troy Aikman helmet for $1,500.
We love that, Al Dukes.
And check his phone to see who he texted ridiculous stuff to in the middle of the night. Like, I miss that whole era of Al. So, yeah, I guess last night, to me, that's the most I've seen him. But he was under control the entire time.
No, I'm not saying he wasn't under control. He was. I mean, we went to a steakhouse. We ate some steak, drank some wine.
Yep.
Went to the North Bar after that for a drink. And before you know it, I'm tripping over the cobblestones in Tribeca.
On your way home?
I almost broke my ankle.
Oh, that would not have been good.
Man.
At all.
I'm Boomer Esiason. And I'm hammered. Yes, thank you.
Oh, man. Well, no, it was great. It was successful.
I just can't do it anymore.
Everybody was happy. Anthony Gallo fit in pretty well. Although it's amazing that the nice shirt that he said that he got for this Christmas dinner was just like this Patagonia zip-up thing.
Wow.
He said he had a nice button-down shirt and ended up being like he had like pants that Youssef wears when he's working.
I know, dude.
And then a Patagonia zip-up. I was like, where is the button-down you were telling us about?
He's like a sanitation worker from Boulder, Colorado. That's what he is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I definitely get that vibe from him.
I get that vibe from 100%.
But he showed up here early.
And I think we were all surprised. Like, I was ready to give Al a high sign, like, let's ghost, and you tapped out.
Yeah, I said enough's enough.
And they were like, sit up!
Sit up!
Yeah, and then you guys tried to bail on me. I was trying to pay the bill. I was walking back. I wanted to walk back to the hotel with you guys, and you're like, all right, I'll see you later. I'm like, wait a second, I'm paying the bill, you idiots. I'm going to walk back with you.
Thought you might
think I'm sitting here by myself?
We thought you might hang for a while.
With who? Everybody was leaving.
Well, 5 Star was there still.
She left too.
It's a great night. It was fun, and then got over early. But still, for some reason, man, I still feel like I'm still out. I never feel like I went to bed or something. I can't explain it to you. I think I'm still drunk, Eddie. Right. So, Eddie, you taped all that stuff. Thanks. Of course. So, here's the thing. I was dreaming about Al last night.
Were you?
I did. I had a dream that Al was naked. And then I was dreaming that Al was naked. I didn't know whether I was awake or not awake. And I thought that you were naked for some reason.
I was not naked. Only in the shower.
But I think I was dreaming it. It's like the weirdest thing ever.
I hope you were dreaming it, because the other alternative is that Al was naked in your place, which is not something.
No, he was naked in my place. But I was just. You want to come in here and feel this?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Oh, man.
All right, so here's the deal.
Yeah?
Good for the Giants. It was great that Seattle lost last night. They're still smack dab in the mix. This Sunday night game is going to be huge. I just watched a couple of the Brock Purdy passes, and Kyle Shanahan, I just watched an interview he gave after the game. Said the guy is like maybe the most poised rookie he has ever been around, has ever coached.
Which is crazy.
Well, you think about this team, the 49ers, is just a really good team that could support him. Like if he were, on the Texans or something, we wouldn't even be thinking twice about him.
Sure.
We'd be thinking like Davis Mills. We'd be thinking about Jeff Driscoll and something like that. But he's on a really good team. And just don't F it up, kid. And, Kyle Shanahan is a very bright offensive coach. They got a ton of offensive players. Christian McCaffrey had over 100 yards last night. So, and Seattle's defense stinks. So they win. And they win kind of quietly, but they win the way that they're going to have to win from this point on. And they clinched the NFC West.
That's right, and Seattle is falling apart. That was a great story early on. They still have overachieved from what we expected them to be, but they're a team that after they beat the Giants and the season that they were having, and Geno Smith having this comeback player of the year season, you didn't think they were going to go away. I thought that they were going to be in the playoffs, and there was maybe a chance after the way that San Francisco had started the season, and they had a ton of injuries, and they were losing games, that maybe they could actually win the division. And now I think everybody thinks that they're probably going to be on the outside looking in the playoffs because, oh, by the way, they've got the Kansas City Chiefs next week, which is a terrible matchup for them as well with that horrible defense. So it's a big deal for the Giants, and it's a huge deal. I mean, this weekend for the Giants is really going to determine whether they're going to be in the playoffs or not. I mean, I'm not saying that they'll be done if things don't break their way, but they could very easily, to me, even though it wouldn't be locked in completely, but solidify a playoff berth if they end up after maybe the Jets beat the Lions on Sunday afternoon and they beat the Commanders on Sunday night. I mean, that's exactly where they'd want to be.
So this is step one of the 3-step process this weekend that work out for the Giants.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I think Coach Daboll would stand up in front of his team and say, I don't really care what anybody else is doing. We just got to take care of our own business, guys. We got to go out there and we got to win this week. And you could feel the pressure. You could feel like, reading the articles and listening to all the interviews and all the opinions about the Giants, that, that the honeymoon kind of thing is over with.
Yeah.
Now, reality has started to set in. And quite frankly, somebody asked me last night, I forget who it was, about Daniel Jones. And I just said, look, man, the kid is out there fighting. That's all I could say. He's fighting. He's trying to make it. He's trying to prove to the Giants and the ownership and the coaches that he could be the guy that could be the guy that ultimately leads them to the Super Bowl. And he's out there basically hamstrung. He's out there by himself. That's what I feel like. I want him to do well. I'm hoping that he does well. But, man, it's going to be a tough game on Sunday night for them. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of the last two games, they've got the Colts, which are up and down. We'll see if they respond to Nick Foles now as their fourth quarterback this season. And then they've got the Eagles, who are most likely going to have everything wrapped up in Week 18. So those two games right there are winnable games for them and easier games for them.
That would get them to 10 if they won those two and Sunday night.
Right, and then that's there.
That's the magic number.
Yeah, that certainly is the magic number for the Giants. And if you make the playoffs, I mean, that is a tremendous accomplishment. I just wonder, does that then mean that this team has to bring back the two players that we always talk about, in Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley? And then if you get into the playoffs, maybe you pull off a wild card weekend victory, too. I mean, that is the positive part about it.
All right.
That's the positive part about it.
Just don't get ahead of yourself.
Well, I know.
Just stop getting ahead of yourself.
Wait a
just
second.
Relax.
I'm not saying that the Giants are going to do that. I've said over and over that I think there's a better chance that they don't win a game the rest of the year. But it's still on the table, isn't it? Isn't that, if you're a Giant fan and you're getting ready for Christmas, isn't that what you're hoping for? Is for them to get into the playoffs, get into wild card weekend, go into one of these NFC places, and win that game. That's what you're hoping for. It's not getting ahead of yourself. It's just like, hey, that's the top of the list, man.
It's like, I feel like you're like titillating the Giant fan.
If they're not thinking about this already, if it's taking me to tell them that this is a path that they would want.
But you're like, most of the time you're very negative about the Giants.
Well, I still am. I'm just saying that if you're a Giant fan, that you should not be negative. You should be positive.
You're Viking negativity out on the Giant fan.
No. All I'm trying to do is tell the Giant fan that this season, because it's true, this season they have completely overachieved. They've given their fan base a lot of fun. And as you sit here right now, the only thing you should be thinking about, and I know there's a lot of talk about Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and the contracts and all that, is to get into the playoffs, get into wild card weekend and try to pull off an upset. You could very easily wake up on either Saturday or Sunday of wild card weekend with your team in the playoffs this year.
Crazy.
And that just is a great, and not every year is like that. The Giants have gone through some lean times. To wake up and have a playoff game this year would be just awesome.
Especially if they go to Minnesota.
Yeah, that would be.
And play Minnesota and beat them.
I told you. I told you I'd have to take.
He would throw for 350 yards that game.
Yeah, probably, because that pass defense sucks. I told you I'd have to take a sabbatical of some sort after that game if that happened. I would have to, whatever paternity, I'll try to squeeze out some more paternity leave.
Yes.
Whatever it is, maybe 6 months. And I'll take it all the way up to baseball season before people can forget.
You realize that is like what we are praying. I mean, I got people praying at Xaverian High School for this. I got people praying at St. Patrick's. I got my local synagogue. Everybody's praying for it. Everybody's praying for that matchup. Everybody I meet, I say, please pray for the Giants at the Vikings. Please.
Well, they're going to see that matchup coming up in the regular season, by the way, on Christmas Eve.
We don't care about that matchup. All we care about is the matchup in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, which it could happen. That is true. It could happen.
I think that would be amazing.
Why? Why would you think it would be amazing?
Because I would have to sit here and watch you sweat through it.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think that they're, at this point, the way they lost to the Lions, the way they lost to the Cowboys, I don't think that they're particularly good anymore, so nothing would surprise me. No team going in there and beating them would necessarily surprise me at this point.
Yeah.
Of course, I wouldn't want to lose the game. I certainly wouldn't want to lose it to the Giants and their fan base, who hates us, but
hates us. Why they hate me?
Because you did the 2-11 thing. Remember that whole thing?
I mean, listen,
they were all over your ass.
Yeah,
those Giant fans, big blue wave came kind of like crashing over the bow.
Right, it's kind of how the way the Bengal fans are all over Craig's
Exactly,
ass.
That's what happens.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.